Greetings, curious acolytes, and welcome back to the Stupendous Wave. During Anakin's first couple years as Darth Vader, he was still adjusting to his new life and trying to grow accustomed to not only being within his suit, but having to deal with the painful memories of Padme in his previous life as Anakin. Time and time again, Vader would try by various means of attempting to bring her back through either science, the Force, and even magic, and yet nothing worked. Nothing at all. The promise that Sidious had made to him about saving his wife was now gone, and any hope of her and being with her was gone as well. Gone too was also his promise of ultimate power and the ability to stop those that he loved from dying. Because of this, Vader grew into a deep depression. His body was in constant pain, but nothing compared to the anguish that he felt on the inside. One of his last-ditch efforts came when he attempted to get rid of his memories of Padme completely, a drastic effort, but clearly one of his last, so Vader could finally get away from the constant inner torment. This is known as Operation Twilight, and today we will discuss the story of how Vader tried to purge his mind of Padme. Our story takes place in 18 PBY, only 1 year after Order 66. If you watched our video on Vader's entire first year within his suit, then you would know that this was at the apex of the misery for the Dark Lord, and he hadn't really even stepped out into the public eye of the galaxy just yet. Not officially, at least. At this time, there were many small resistance cells rising up against the Empire, and the Emperor was looking for a quick and easy way to take care of this rising problem. So employing the Imperial scientist Jenna Zan Arbor, Operation Twilight began. This was a top secret project that resulted in a serum being created which could wipe the memories of any subject. The main purpose of this operation was to eliminate all leaders of the resistance against the Galactic Empire in one fell blow. However, Vader was planning to use it for his own purposes and wipe his own memories of Padme. Unfortunately, Vader's plan for him would not come to fruition. After the Jedi Padawan Ferrus Olin uncovered evidence of the plan after hacking Darth Vader's Imperial code cylinder, he learned that Zan Arbor required a test subject who had undivided loyalty to the Empire. At first, they were going to use a cadet from the Imperial Academies, but instead settled on the son of the Resistance Senator. Leaping into action, Padawan Ferrus Olin and Master Rai Gal stopped this part of the project by destroying the datapad, the same datapad holding all the information on the formula, while Zan Arbor was injected with the same serum, causing her to lose 50 years of her memory, as well as her knowledge of the process in making the serum. Both the plans of the Emperor as well as Vader went up in flames. Infuriated at her failure, Vader executed Zan Arbor himself and decided to carry out the mission of wiping out the rebel insurgents personally. In a stroke of deceptive genius, Vader put a plant in their ranks which lured them into a trap, with all the leaders aboard one single ship. Vader held more rage for this group than normal, as they had stolen from him his one chance at potential peace, his one chance to forget. Vader bombarded the ship, hitting it with a Star Destroyer, and destroyed them all completely. His victory over the rising rebellion meant very little to him in this moment though, as his true prize had once again been taken from him. He could not bring Padme back, and now he was once again destined to be forever haunted by her memory. His resolve in the dark side grew stronger because of this, and his pain fueled his rage at the unfairness of his life. Later, Vader would go on to make sure that there were truly no Jedi left in the galaxy to oppose him, taking out all of his rage on the dwindling group. It's an interesting thing, I think, that Vader would be in so much pain that he would actually be willing to erase the memories of Padme. Darth Vader did everything in his power to suppress and destroy all remnants of Anakin Skywalker within his psyche. More machine than man, he hated what he used to be, as it represented weakness and confinement. For his whole life, he had been in shackles, as a slave boy on Tatooine, to being held back from his full potential by the Jedi, as well as his full happiness, specifically the Council. And now, he was trapped in a black, shadowy prison within his own suit, a torment of his own design. He had no rest, no comfort, and no relief either physically or emotionally. The only thing he felt was anger and rage, and this was the only thing that made him feel alive, and slaughtering Jedi was how he was able to feed this feeling of channeling the dark side. It was the only way he could feel anything. In many places, Vader describes feeling strong and capable, with the restrictions of his suit being an afterthought when he was able to let loose and do battle with many Jedi. Slaying his former order was like a drug to the Dark Lord, and he couldn't possibly ever get enough. This is why it got to the point where the Emperor had to do drastic things to even get Vader's attention, as Vader continuously ignored his master's demands for him to forget the Jedi and help him build the new Empire. Before his trip to the world of Kashyyyk, Vader had barely any interest in the Empire and ruling. After all, what had it done for him? It took everything he cared about, and now the resources that it was supposed to provide him only proved to be more failures. Anything that is ever attempted, Vader seemed to fail at, as well as the Empire failing at. However, Vader's resolve and loyalty to the Empire would be reinforced by his enlightening experience on the world of Kashyyyk. It was here where Vader was able to slay a large group of Order 66 survivors, including some of the most powerful Jedi that remained. One of these Jedi, who even knew that Vader was Anakin, but how he knew he was Anakin is even more enlightening. In the Jedi Master's final moments, Darth Vader, before butchering him as well, revealed his true identity as the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, wanting to make this fallen Jedi feel a fraction of the pain that Vader felt on the regular, letting him know that not only were the Jedi beaten, but they were betrayed by their greatest ally and weapon. But anyway, friends, what do you think of what would have happened if Vader was successful in wiping his memories of Padme? Again, something that's intriguing about this story is this is one of the first things that Vader actually resolved to do following being encased within his black suit. He literally attempted to forget the existence of Padme nearly immediately, and this was one of his first plans. This just goes to show you how much pain Vader was truly in. Undoubtedly, he would have been even more cold and ruthless if this was even possible. Or do you think Luke would have had an easier time in turning Vader? Would Vader's power in the dark side be stifled by forgetting his one true motivation and largest failure? If Vader had forgotten Padme, he would have never revealed to Luke that he was indeed his father, and Luke would have never gotten to resolve to attempt to turn him back to the light, if Vader even still wanted to be a Sith Lord to begin with. Perhaps Luke would have killed Vader without remorse and turned to the dark side under Emperor Palpatine's goading, or perhaps Vader would have killed Luke. Tell us what you think about this in the comments down below. And as always, my friends, may the Force be with you and have a great day.